Imagine a conscious contact with God so strong that no matter what you are doing or not doing, that no matter what your kids are up to or not up to, and that whether you've got the person of your dreams or they're just not cooperating, that you are happy, content, and at peace. A space where everyone else's thoughts, attitudes, and actions are beautiful and exactly as they are supposed to be. Well, this is the space where I like to play. My name is Mischa Z, and this is today's Bitch Slap. Join me as I shed light on the thoughts, actions, and attitudes that are causing you pain, and we train our minds to go to the capital S inner self, the joy that is waiting for us, the God within.
Today's A Course in Miracles was super juicy, got my mind going so much. So A Course in Miracles, Chapter 31, The Final Vision, Section 7, The Savior's Vision. It's actually on page 662 on the book that I have, and A Course in Miracles combined volume. So I am never been a church guy in through my life. When I was a kid, I went to church a couple times. I'm telling you this story because of the contempt or the judgment or the contempt that comes up when I hear certain words. And because the ego is strong in me. And when I talk about this stuff, this is not to knock anybody who loves church and, loves whatever God is being, however God's manifesting through their church. Awesome. I tend to go to recovery meetings to find connection to source and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people in recovery also go to church and stuff like that. So anyway, I probably didn't even need to talk about all of that, but just know that I've never been a church guy. Too much contempt. The dogma freaks me out. And I'm sure the dogma of the recovery groups that I go to freaks other people out as well. So we're all leaning into our own dogma. But like the word savior, for example, historically, that would, shut my mind down. I'd be like, savior, heck with that. Savior, schmavior. But now the fact that I can say it on this podcast and that I can read content that has that word in it, that's growth for me. Perhaps the next time I won't need to say this disclaimer, which would be ultimate growth. This section talks about salvation and judgment a bunch. And salvation is such an interesting concept. When I hear that salvation, it susses out that contempt in me. It shines that light of contempt on me. And honestly, I don't even really know where it came from or manifested from. Like, I didn't really ever have a bad experience in church growing up. My parents definitely were not church goers. As in my youth, I went to church a couple times with various friends, and it never really gripped me enough that I wanted to go back. But I did like the fellowship and such. So anyhow, salvation. So I was like, let's look up the word salvation as according to Webster. And the point of this is like, do I want salvation or don't I? Would I rather hold the word salvation in contempt? Therefore, I don't want salvation, or is salvation something to be wanted? So I went ahead and looked up salvation in Webster, and definition 2 is what I'm going to start with, because I think you'll see that, heck yes, I want salvation. I do when I read number 2, liberation from ignorance or illusion. At this point in my life, I do want liberation from ignorance or illusion or illusion. Back in the day, I didn't. I liked the illusions that I embraced, and they served me. I liked the ignorance. Ignorance has definitely been bliss in my life over the years. However, when the veil of ignorance can be cracked, then you're kind of hosed. So yes, indeed, I do want salvation according to definition Webster 2, liberation from ignorance or illusion. Number 3, definition 3a, preservation from destruction or failure. Preservation from destruction or failure. Well, of course, I might want some salvation there. Deliverance from danger or difficulty. Deliverance from danger or difficulty. Let's go with 1A. This is where it starts to get a little wonky for me. Deliverance from the power and effects of sin. Now, historically, that definitely would have been my mind would have started to shut down a little bit, close off to these ideas. But today, I love this idea, deliverance from the power and effects of sin. And yeah, I would like that. I like the idea that there is no sin, that is an illusion, and some of the things that come with that. 1B, the agent or means that affect salvation, or it could be effects, the agent or means that affect salvation. 1C, I kind of like this one, Christian Science, the realization of the supremacy of capital I, infinite, capital M mind over all, bringing with it the destruction of the illusion of sin, sickness, and death. The realization of the supremacy of infinite mind over all, bringing with it the destruction of the illusion of sin, sickness, and death. And if we believe we are our bodies, I am my body, this body is the be-all, end-all of my existence, which may or may not be true, but if I hold strong to that, then I am going to believe in sickness, because sickness ultimately and death ends the body. And this is what comes to mind when I think of Christian Science, this definition gives me a new appreciation of Christian scientists. And that's that. And I'm talking a bit out of ignorance here, but from what I understand, a Christian scientist, they are not big into traditional Western medicine. Like if they get sick, cancer or some such thing, from what I understand, a Christian scientist would pray or do these things and would avoid, say, getting treatment for cancer. Now, when I hear people talk about that, somebody who's not a Christian scientist, and I hear somebody say that, they say a Christian scientist naively believes that if they get cancer, they turn to God, they pray to God, and they believe that God will heal their sickness, like the physical sickness, the cancer itself. And I would challenge that line of thinking, that a Christian scientist says, hey, I'm not my body. and that I'm much more, and that I'm part of this, what is it, this infinite mind. And so there's no need to heal from the sickness, because this blip of time that we're represented by a body is an illusion. So there's no need to, like, I don't care if I die, in other words, or I'll trust in God that if the cancer is meant to go away, it'll go away. If the cancer is meant to end the usefulness of my body on this planet, so be it. And I love that thought. I love the thought of being so convicted that there's more going on than just our bodies, that you're like, yeah, it's all good. Like, there's no need to stress about the sickness or the short-term illusory pain that I'm going to feel, because I'm more than my body. I'm part of the infinite mind. So sin, sickness, and death are an illusion. I'm not going to die. I'm just going to be perhaps liberated from this current way that I relate to the planet. I believe that I'm not going to get to talk about judgment. I'll have to save that for the next episode, because I think that I hit a good at least 8 to 10 minutes. Love to all. And I'm down for salvation. What I'm trying to tell you is, today, I choose yes. Salvation sounds good. Why not? And I ask you, are you willing to embrace the concept of salvation? Peace out. Have a good day.
Thank you for spending time with me today. As someone who is committed to growth and service to this world, I so appreciate your willingness to come with me, go within, and serve our world through change. If you found value in this podcast and you know someone who can use this message, share this episode with them. Share it so our mission can be achieved one episode at a time. And of course, subscribe so you can hear more. And lastly, for more resources on what has helped me on my journey and can help you on yours, go to belove.media/resources. That's BELOVE.media/resources. Thank you again for listening.